Hi guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Today I'm doing a small episode on my massive yard cleanup. It's probably part 4 I think, and I'm starting at this stage right down the back lane near my back gate. I've got these dry bodies packed with pressing steel up on a pallet, so they're organised and ready to go. There's some e-waste up on top ready for the next load to the transfer station. I've got any value I can out of those, so they're organised. But I need to make a bit of room down this lane to get my trailer down. So the next step is to deal with these old mattresses that have been stacked up for a while and they're quite weathered, as you can see. So I'll deal with them now, and also a few of these other bits of timber and whatnot here. There's an old bed end here which will probably just be for firewood. I had to take it out of someone's shed. I was doing a clean up and it was too far gone to be used. Some of the timber might be okay. I'll assess that when I knock it apart. These cast aluminium brackets, I won't throw them in the cast alloy bin. They could be very handy. There's 2 of those, one the other end as well. They could be handy for when I start making veranda seats out of old bed ends, because I'll need some angle brackets and they're nice and strong. This big bit of chipboard or particle board here is the base out of an old kitchen cabinet. Again, it probably came out of a shed I had to clean out. The tin will just go in the pressing steel, but I'll keep the rest of it for now because I'm going to do a trial on chipboard at some stage with regards to worm farms and compost. So it won't matter if that just weathers in the yard a bit longer. And there's some old pallet timber which I'll save any straight boards and de-nail, and the rest of it can go to the firewood pile. So I'll make a start on these mattresses first and see if we can generate a bit of clear room down this rear lane. Alright, so we'll pull this first mattress base apart. You can see that the top sheet part of it's just broken down in the sun. It appears to be a cotton. I will test that. The wadding is a pure cotton wadding. I've had these before and the worms do eat it beautifully. So I'll put all that in a bin that I've got to keep it neat and doesn't blow around the yard. And I'll gradually feed that to some worm farms to get rid of all that. Now this one's a base, this mattress base. It has got a hessian under here, which I may have a use for. We'll see how that comes off. Then there's springs, which I've been able to make things with before, and a timber frame. And the fabric on the bottom looks like it's a cotton as well. So this mattress base should be pretty much 100% recyclable or reusable. So we'll pull it apart and see what we have left. Alright, that's got all the cotton wadding off that side. You can see that it's soaked up the moisture from the bottom. So the hessian, I don't think I'll be using that for anything, but it's a natural product and it can go in the compost of the worm farm as well. So we'll flip it over and just have a look where it's been sitting on the ground. All the weeds have grown up through it, which makes it a bit tricky. So the weeds have grown along where it's held the moisture in, weeds being mostly like a buffalo grass. There's a little fella there. So the worms have been getting into the bit of the cotton along the base. So that's a good sign. So we'll finish pulling the rest of this off, and then we just have to dismantle the timber and the springs. So this wire base is going to come apart okay, but if you do a lot of mattresses you'll notice that they're all different. This one's got single strands of wire twitched all the way along on each row. Luckily they're soft and they cut very easily, so I can just go along and snip sections. However, something to be aware of, this is a laneway where I'm going to back my trailer down, and we don't want little bits of wire in the grass, so I'll put them all in a tub. So it's going to take a little while to do, but it beats paying $25, $30, $40, $50, whatever your local shire charges you to dispose of a mattress into landfill. Now I'm just going to knock this bed head apart just to see if I can salvage a bit of timber, and as I said, I want these brackets. Just a little tip, and I'll try and give you lots of tips as I'm doing these cleanups and processing stuff. When you're undoing the old timber screws, don't grab the first old screwdriver you can find. Make sure it's the right size and it's got a good end on it. That one is pretty rounded off. That's one I just use for levering things. Same with this other one here I had before. It's not quite the right size for the slot. It's a little bit long and it's rounded on the corners. And if you try and undo these screws with something like this, what you'll end up doing is you'll probably round the edges off the slot, and the moment you do that, it makes it hard to do with any tool. So it's always worth going for a walk and getting a good screwdriver, a good quality one, not a bargain basement $1 discount screwdriver. This is a good, well-known Aussie brand, so it's worth the effort. Make sure it's the right size for the slot, and if they're still a bit firm, give the screwdriver a tap on the end with a hammer, which I haven't quite got handy, but if you jar the end with a hammer, it'll put a bit of a shock down through the threads, and you'll find that one tap on a good quality screwdriver won't hurt the screwdriver, and you'll find it'll undo beautifully with no slippage, and you'll keep all the skin on your knuckles. So I'll take these brackets off and I'll knock the timber apart and just see if anything's worth salvaging. So I've spent a couple of hours this afternoon in the nice warm spring sunshine, and I've got rid of 3 mattresses. There's only 2 to go. Well, they're bases actually. The mattresses I did actually take to the transfer station when I did the job. I was pressed for time, and it cost me $25 a mattress to get rid of. So that was $125 plus time for me to go to the transfer station. So these ones I won't be spending that money. In fact, we've the 3 that I've taken apart, we've got materials here and nothing's going to landfill. We have a whole bin full of this cotton felt, which I know the worms eat, so that'll be turned into beautiful garden soil. One of the mattresses had this cotton waste type material. I think that will be fine with the worms, but I'll do a test on that first, but there's only a small section of that anyway. All the wire spring assemblies, it took me a while to clip them up. I've already filled this tub once, and this is a bit more, but that'll just go in the dryer bodies for pressing steel. Same with all the small clips, so that's scrap metal value. The springs I've kept separately, and I'm actually going to put a tub of these out in the shop over the weekend and just see if anyone's interested in them. I might just say 50 cents each. If someone wants a whole box lot, I'll do them a deal. But it'd be nice to get a little bit of money back on those. We did make a little cactus display out of one other lot, and I'll show you a photo now. And that took hardly any time to make, and we actually sold that. I got $10 for that, and the lady absolutely loved it. So we might make some more of those, because as you can see here now, I've got plenty of springs. So the bed head we knocked apart earlier, I will keep that timber. I think it's a maple, so it's quite a nice timber. It's still very straight, so I can use that. We have a pile of just the cotton, the bottom sheet and around the sides and the top sheet. It's pretty well all cotton. Where the mattresses were lying in the dirt, the worms had actually eaten the cotton away, so I know they'll eat that. I have a couple of sheets of hessian, which I'll actually use this doubled over just on top of my worm farms and compost bins to stop them drying out. And one mattress also had this horsehair type matting, which will be like a really good doona for a worm farm, so that'll be useful. Eventually it'll rot down or they'll eat it because it is natural materials. And we've got 3 timber slat assemblies, which I'm going to leave complete because I'm actually going to make, well, you could use them for all sorts of things. You could make a little fence around your garden out of them. I might make a little shade for my woodshed. I've got another larger one I was going to do that with, but they'll certainly be useful. Absolutely worst case is chop them up for firewood. But there you go, from 3 mattresses I've got quite a pile of good useful materials. Nothing's going to landfill, and I've made a bit of a start there in being able to get my trailer down this back lane. So I'll do those other two next nice day we have. And that's the next stage of my yard complete. Thanks for watching. Bye.